Imagine trading 6 to 7 figures of funded capital without risking your own money. That's exactly what a funded account can do for you. In this episode of Big Wick Energy Podcast, we're going to dive deep into the funded world and what that can actually do for you, look at the pros and cons, and whether or not it's going to be worth your time. We're going to be talking about what separates people who pass funded accounts and people who don't, our personal experiences with funded accounts, especially these two being 7-figure funded traders, the strategies for managing risk and meeting challenge requirements, and then the biggest mistakes that people make when going for funding. So let's get into it.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want.
Tell me what you want.
What you really want. I wanna be down. Wanna dig it.
But yeah, so we're going to be talking about how to pass funded accounts, everyone's personal opinions on it. And the first topic we want to get into is what separates traders who pass versus traders who fail. What do you think?
That's a great question, Huddy. Jordan?
No, you first.
What's the difference? I think the big difference is, the themes for Ambitious this year is discipline and consistency.
Yep.
If you can stick to those two things, then, you're more or less likely to pass a funded account. Like, if you're disciplined with getting into trades and not FOMOing into trades, then you have a higher chance of passing a funded account. Also, other key differences, I think the other key difference is people who have journaled and they have the data to back themselves. So, I'm going into trades with confidence and, 7 times out of 10 I'm going to win a trade.
Yeah.
And I only know those stats because of the data I've collected, the journaling I've done. So it just comes down to the work I've done beforehand. That's given me confidence to actually, pass accounts and get to where I am. But I think those are, some of the key differences. I think a lot of people are just, not passing funded accounts because they're just rushing into getting funded. They just want the funding straight away. And I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones lately, and people who have passed their funded accounts, it's either been, luck. And so when they actually get their funded accounts, they just blow them, within, the first week that they've got them. So, yeah. Those are some of the differences. What do you reckon, bro?
Probably risk management. It might be a 300K account, but your drawdown is really the size of that account, eh?
Yeah.
So
That gets me, is like...
So it gives you the leverage of having 300K.
Yeah.
But your drawdown is really the money that you've got to work with, initially.
Yeah.
That's how I see it anyway. So,
I think that's true though. Like a lot of people go into wanting to do funded accounts with the idea in their head that they can just pass it straight away, or like they sort of have that psychology that they're just going to gamble it because funded accounts these days are so cheap. Like those Apex accounts that we can get, 300K, bro. Some of the deals they have is like $50.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Like what? Like $50, bro, for 300K.
I don't.
And so the mindset behind that is like you're not really risking anything. You're spending that $50, and anyone has $50. These days, like anyone can just spend $50 if they pass it. If they don't, not really caring.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of the big difference of whether or not someone's going to pass it. Someone that's taking it serious, someone that already has the knowledge to be able to trade properly, because funded accounts are designed for people to lose. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
And not to say that us as traders we've lost multiple accounts. And like people don't understand that. They're like, they lose one or two and they're like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm a failure as a trader, but they have to understand that,
some of the rules are just wild though, eh?
Oh, it's crazy.
Like that's how it's designed.
Yeah.
For you
for you to fail.
Or at least eventually lose the account.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another key difference is between a funded trader and someone who's not passing funded, is that the funded trader is looking at all the rules, understanding, you know, if it's a 50k account, you only have 3k worth of drawdown, and so you can't really risk 1% a trade, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're going that route, because if you're risking 1%, you know, it's only a couple of trades and then you're blowing the account. So if you know the ins and outs of the rules of the prop firm that you're trading with, and you know how to, you know, work within those constraints, and then, it makes it way easier to pass.
Yeah, way easier to pass.
Which isn't too hard if you're disciplined.
Same thing, eh? Like, you just got to be a disciplined trader. But I think it's the same on both ends of the scale. Like, it is designed to lose because majority of people that are getting funded accounts are, you know, either don't have the trading capital or traders that are already trading live accounts but are just getting funded accounts for added bonuses. Like, you're doing the same exact trades, but you can get so much funding from these other people for such a little amount of money that it's just like an added bonus. So the traders that are getting that funded account, I think, are the ones, you know, the 1%, they say, that are actually passing them. And they take those sort of statistics off everyone that's sort of buying them. A majority of people that are buying them are people that have been learning for 2 weeks and want to get funded accounts. But yeah, like that's the key thing as well, is, you know, it's sort of like a lottery to a lot of people. And it takes that psychology away of, you know, I could potentially lose this. Whereas if they focus on, I think, what it could bring for them, you know, like getting that 300k in funded capital, like you're already done for this month, and you got 2 of them already up to 6k, 16k USD. You know, like that's wild. But then that 16k USD translates into like 25,000 New Zealand. In a month, you know, like that's crazy. But it's just that psychology difference between people that can pass them, are people that are taking it seriously, and the people that are failing, I think, is people that aren't taking it seriously, sort of gambling it just to try and you know, get it really, really quick, which you know, it can be helpful to do that sort of thing, like strategy wise, but I think, you know, when you have that sort of strategy going behind it, it makes it a lot more simpler. A lot more simpler.
No, I completely agree. Yeah. Like, it's either that or you're just too early in your trading journey. You know, like this is a process. Like, trading's a process you don't want to rush. You know, you want to not fail, but I guess you do want to fail. Like, you want to fail fast and take on all those lessons, but you also have to be patient. Like, trading just involves so much patience, and that's another key into, you know, passing a funded account. Just take your time.
Wait for that setup to come to you, eh?
Yeah.
Not trying to find it.
That's that like so many traders, like, because they're jumping on at, you know, the same time every single day, and there's not a setup, they try and make a setup.
Yeah.
And not stick to that setup coming to them. Whereas, you know, even if you're going through our analysis and things like that, you know, we're waiting for key levels to be hit before we actually, you know, end up taking a trade, or we know that it's going to go to a key level, so we're actually trading lower time frame market structure to that key level. But again, like, that's the knowledge. That's the knowledge behind, you know, us as a trader, the skill level of the types of entries that we can get, and then holding it to specific areas. So, yeah. And so, like, with everyone's personal experience, like, what personal experiences have you guys had with, you know, funded accounts?
I love funded accounts, bro. They've been
Like them or not?
I love funded accounts, bro. Yeah. Because it's given me the access to, you know, all this capital. Like, I don't have, you know, 7 figures just lying around to trade.
Oh, don't you?
Oh, that's crazy.
So, Yeah, it's just giving me the opportunity to, get access to bigger capital to trade. So, I love funded accounts, but there's also a lot of constraints, and it's a lot different to trading a live account. There's just so many rules and things. So, you do have to adjust your trading to all the rules, which is all good. Like, if you're trading futures, you can't hold overnight.
Yeah.
And, that's, it can suck because, like, if you were trading gold in January, all you had to do was just buy on the 1st of Jan and
Away it goes.
you're up 3,000 pips right now. So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but yeah, like, I do enjoy trading futures just because there's, like, no spread and very low commission. But yeah.
What about the difference, like, for you between, or for both of you actually, like, between the CFD fundeds and the futures fundeds?
Yeah, CFD fundeds, that, I don't really like CFD fundeds,
I think I done past one alpha,
True.
capital one, yeah,
Yeah.
and then futures.
Yeah. Yeah, just the spreads involved, especially for me because I'm trading Asia and spreads are just massive during Asia. So, but on futures, no spread if you're doing limit orders and, but yeah, CFDs, just I guess I haven't really gotten funded through legit CFD prop firm. So,
Yeah.
I've only had like a HFT. Is it HFT?
Mm.
HFT account. And they pretty much screwed me over. So, yeah, haven't been the biggest fan.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I don't really like trading on NT4, NT5. So,
You don't?
nah, bro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so, like, a lot of your trading will be traded on.
Either through TradingView or like Top Step X.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trading on the computer is way easier for me. I can't trade on the phone. Just my thumbs are too fat. Just pressing all the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same, Like I love trading on the computer, even with my live account.
Yeah, could you trade on, what was it, MT5?
Yeah,
Yeah, but still on the app.
Oh, true.
yeah, on PC. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Do you use Magic Keys?
Yeah, bro.
True. Yeah.
I love it. Just easy to get in and out of trades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Click and drag.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I wish there were like some of the features that you can get on NT5. I wish they had those on TradingView, like the click and drag and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Do they not? Can you not click it and drag it? Or you have to set the
yeah,
sell stops on it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Got to
that's
have a
bit
stop
annoying.
loss to begin with,
No, bro's calling out everyone. Advanced techniques.
Got to have a stop loss to click and drag first.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't know. What do you prefer, the CFD ones or the futures?
Futures. Yeah, futures because of the spreads and that. And I've just become familiar with them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty keen to jump into a few CFD ones. Just
Why? Oh, yeah.
Just see if I can. Just because I want to have a few of those as well.
Yeah, true. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Just another challenge.
this guy. It's like the poker master, bro. He just wants to catch them all.
Yeah. But no, futures for me, I kind of use the props as like my live testing.
Yeah,
Just bringing that monetary value to something, and
build up your psychology.
yeah, because sometimes demo and just forward testing on TradingView, just the psychology is not there because you don't really care if you win or lose,
Yeah.
But having the, for example, top step accounts, using those and the rules and the parameters to, just build up that psychology level, and advance your trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Like outlook is using a combine to do your like forward testing or your live testing.
Yeah.
Just so you're testing your strat as well as your emotions and your psychology at the same time. Because when you're trading demo, bro, like when I used to trade, demo, I was like, 500 lots, like it just doesn't make any sense, and my psychology is not there, and I'll just hold drawdown until I was like 3 million.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that on a combine. So it's a good way to build up your psychology and assess your emotions, and good for your data collection and your journaling.
Yeah.
I think the rules in that have helped me with my live account though.
True.
Set me up for my live account, yeah, because it's
Interesting.
it's so strict.
Yeah.
The rules and what you've got to follow, and then if you can apply that to your live account, you're going to be locked in for that live account as well.
What kind of rules do you take over to your live account?
Stop loss?
Yeah. What? Risk management, still the same, similar risk management. Maybe a bit of daily drawdown. If I'm having a couple of L's,
Nice.
then I'll use that to step away.
Nice.
If I've hit a certain percentage of loss, then I'd step away, from the charts, take a bit of a breather, whether that's the next day or. So yeah, but probably just the discipline from all the rules, just the discipline, that you have to have all together.
Yeah.
Just take that into your live account and.
It just is what it is. I think that's the big thing too about funded accounts is that like they have rules and stuff, but realistically it's just risk management, which a lot of people don't have. Like they come into trading with no risk management plan whatsoever, and then that's why they end up losing or they end up failing the challenge. It's crazy.
Yeah, risk management is key. Like if you're not a profitable trader, you're either losing too much or you're losing too big. So like you need to adjust your risk management to, if you're losing too big, that's an easy adjustment. You just lower your risk. If you're losing,
What do you mean losing too big?
Like if you're losing, say if I'm risking like, 5% of the account,
Right.
you're losing a lot, big amounts.
Too much, yeah.
But if you're losing too often, then just don't trade as much. Just be a bit more patient. Like
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So
be
you're
patient.
either like the volume of your trades is too much, or you're risking too much,
Yeah,
percentage wise.
yeah. That's the only reason why people lose.
Yeah, so fair.
Or like, that's the only reason why you're not profitable. Losing too much or losing too often. So if you can control those parameters and just like Jordan said, and, adjust those, your trading to the rules, and you should be sweet. Yeah.
It's crazy though. Like realistically, trading is just a risk management plan.
That's all it is.
After the risk management plan, the only thing you're trying to learn is to find a setup to enter into the market.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing, bro.
Yeah. Do you like that one?
I like that one.
Yeah, sweet.
But that's crazy. Like with risk management, like there was something that I sort of caught on to like pretty early. Not, using it as often as I should have, but knew that there was something that had to be made. That, along with what I really focused on early in my career, was just trying to find the best entries. Because my whole thing was if I could enter at like the best point, my risk management wouldn't matter and my psychology wouldn't be affected.
Yeah.
And so if that was, something that I could master, that's the only thing I had to master.
Yeah.
But then again, I also would do like these little experiments on my live account with just like entering at a random spot and just holding drawdown for ages.
True.
Because market goes up and down. And so like my theory was that even if I enter here, it can keep going down and then come all the way back up and put me in profit.
Yeah.
Because I found before that I was entering with too much trades, entering too much trades with like, stop loss here and it'll be like bang, 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 lose all of them. Whereas just entering once, not getting stopped out and then coming all the way back. But, You can't you can't do that with funded accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like for the psych?
Like it was sort of testing the psychology, and that's why like I think it helped build my psychology to be able to hold drawdown.
That's why he has no stop loss, cause
Those are like the early, like my early, I guess experiments. I would data that I would try and collect. And if you look at the market, it's like it's just continuously up and down, up and down, up and down, going in a certain direction.
yeah,
What I soon found after that is, with my psychology, whilst I was in that drawdown, then it got to like being, entries. Like holding that drawdown to a certain point, I could enter at this point and trade it all the way back. And so why not just not enter, wherever the market's going to be at that point, and wait for it to come all the way back. Obviously, that's been early in my career, but that was, where the whole entry started to come in. And then eventually ended up learning a bit of smart money concepts that, helped me understand that the market's doing the up and down thing, going in a certain trend. But with the whole psychology thing, with funded accounts, you can't do that. You have to be entering at precise areas and having a stop loss at a precise area.
yeah,
And so if you can trade with that type of stuff, and with that trading plan, with that risk management, then you should be profitable. But like my sort of experience with funded accounts is, like you guys were saying, it was just like a demo account to me, because it cost me absolutely nothing, and I didn't care about losing that. Like so cheap that on New Year's when they had the thing, bro, I bought 20 accounts.
Did you? 28, what, 300k accounts?
2,300k accounts, bro.
It's like,
Bro, like, and each one of them, like, just full marched.
true.
I mean, not all of them. I still got maybe like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Something like that. That I've kept. Past 2 of them.
Nice.
Still haven't paid for like the, to get the actual.
Oh, that
Don't really
collation.
care.
Yeah.
But like it just felt like a demo account to me, because like with that deal that was going on, it cost like $16 USD for 300k. So it was like, what was it, like $30 NZD? So it was like $600 to get 6 million in challenges, I guess.
Yeah.
And because I'm only spending $600 on, 6 million in funded, it was like, bruh,
Yeah, full much.
35 contracts. But yeah, again, it's that psychology. Like, never would trade like that on live account.
Yeah.
Purely because like the psychology is different.
Yeah.
And you would know that now, like trading a live account, the psychology from live to funded challenge is different. And yeah, like I just treat it like a demo. And even like doing demos, like you were saying, 500 lots.
Yeah.
Because like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's going to go in drawdown. You're not even caring. It's not even real money.
Yeah.
So it's like taking that psychology away with demo. But that's how I view funded accounts. And obviously later when we get deeper into the podcast and we talk about a little bit about our risk management plans and how we approach passing them, you guys will hear that. But that's sort of my experience with them. And I've had CFD funded accounts, which the same thing. Like I was able to pass that with like those HFT bots, and I had $1 million in funding for that.
Was that one account? Or was that like a few?
2 500s.
True.
Yeah. 2 500s.
What a wild prop firm, eh?
Wild, bro.
And then up $500,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I had $1 million in funding with that, and that was like pretty early into my funding journey. But it got to the point where I was just like, if I get $1 million, like, and I'm just doing 1% a day, that's what, 10 grand.
Yeah.
Ended up getting it, doing like, I don't know, because you had to wait like, what was it, like 20 days or something?
30, wasn't it?
30 days.
Yeah.
30 days. And so like in the first week, I did like 30 grand. and then I just left it, you know.
Yeah.
And then it got to the end of the month, and they're like, "Oh, you broke this rule."
Yeah, I hate that, bro.
Yeah, it was shit.
Yeah.
And so went away from those. Like, didn't really care. I mean, cared because they were more expensive than what futures ones are.
Yeah.
But went away from that, and then, yeah, I didn't really like believe in the whole funding account concept because how are they making money? They're making money off traders losing, you know. But the traders that are winning, if they're outweighing, you know, the traders that are losing, then they're not going to pay you out.
Yeah.
And if they can find a reason not to pay you out, they are going to do that.
Yeah.
Where it's a little bit better with these futures accounts because it's all regulated, and you know people are getting payouts and it's all proper. So yeah, that's sort of the difference. But once I got into the futures stuff, like after you started getting into it, you were into it for like a few months, and I still just didn't even look into it. And then everyone else started.
I was telling you for ages too, and I was like, "Bro, this is easy money for you guys." Like, and you're like, "Nah."
Yeah. But even then, like, I think I went into it, and I bought like an account, and then I lost it like within 2 days or something,
Yeah.
Then yeah, like 2 days later, I got my second one, and like I passed it in a day, but then I wasn't reading the rules, and then you were like, "Oh, bro, you can't pass it in a day." Like, I think I made like 10 and a half.
Yeah.
And then so,
CJ.
yeah. And then like, I had to do like another 10 and a half or something?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah. And so like that, and I sort of like, even from that, I was sort of like, oh, this is rubbish, man. Like, you know, I just didn't have the patience for it. And then, you know, sort of took a step back, and then seen these Apex accounts started coming out. And then purely just the fact that you could have 20 sort of like triggered me, and it was like, you know, 6 million in funded. Like, that's wild. You do, like, even just having those 20 accounts and only doing like 0.5%. What's that, like $3,000?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
no, that's 1% of the 300K. So you're doing 0.5%, that's
true.
like 1,500
Times
a
20.
day, times 20, like, that's 30 grand a day. You know, and then like even that's sort of unbelievable. But that's when it, you know, my whole psychology changed, not only for these prop firms, but for my live capital as well. It was, you know, I don't have to be trying to make, you know, 10% a day. You know, it was, I'm going to focus on doing 2 to 5% a day. And ever since then, like sort of changing that risk management, changing my trading plan. Like that's my main focus, and like since then it's just been growth. Like there's been some days where I've done like 9% or some shit, like silly, bro. And I message the phone, I'm like, bro, like just held this trade, you know, like on the live account.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. But it sort of takes that psychology away. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with like the funded accounts. It's for me, just like demo accounts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the fact is if you do take it seriously and have the patience for it, it can be, you know, life changing, especially for people that don't have the capital to be, you know, trading big. Because I think a lot of people with their risk management plan coming into it, the only risk, you know, they're chucking in $100 to $1,000 usually. And if they're making 2% on 1,000, what's that, like $20? You know, like that's different to 2% on 6 mil. You know, and like you could get that 6 million with less than $1,000 with a proper deal going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, wild.
Yeah, so you would rather spend money on prop accounts? Like if you had $1,000, let's say you had $100, would you rather put that straight into a live, or would you rather buy a combine through Top Step?
Me personally,
Yeah.
or as a beginner.
Is
I
it-
mean, you know, as
yeah,
someone
both.
that's, I mean, me personally, I would rather have $100 live.
Was it?
I can trade it more.
Because you're not restricted to
to risk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not restricted to risk.
But you also only have $100.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah, 'cause
like
if
with
you-
my personal experience with lives compared to props is that, you know, I've turned $100 into like 1,000 in a couple of days
Right.
before. And, you know,
Yeah.
just leading on to that, it's like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. But if you did spend that $100 on a prop account through TopStep, get a 50K combine, now you've got access to $2,000 worth of drawdown. You know?
Yeah.
So you got $2,000 versus $100 in a live.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fair. That's so fair too. It's like, if it was to be taken seriously, like if I didn't have
Yeah, got you.
the money behind me,
Yeah.
then that's going to be my option.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into getting a funded account and doing proper risk management.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best option as well for a lot of people,
Yeah.
is that they should be spending, you know, that money on a funded account, taking it seriously, seeing whether or not they can pass the challenge. And if they can, then they have the means to be going on to a live. But I think they have to focus on passing that challenge with proper risk management and proper strategy
Yeah.
rather than trying to gamble it.
Rather than like a news trade.
Hey, what do you reckon?
I totally agree. Like if you're gonna do a combine through TopStep and you trade it how you actually trade, then you should be sweet once you get the funded account because you're just trading like you normally trade. But if you're just like, you know, maybe you're gonna take a gamble on a news trade and you get the account, like what are you gonna do now that you've got the funded?
Yeah.
Like, do you actually know how to trade, or are you just gonna gamble it on another news candle?
Yeah.
So yeah, comes back to that consistency and discipline.
I mean, that's a lot of what it is, like the discipline and consistency, sticking to that trade plan, like having the right trade plan. It's everything sort of combined in one, you know. And I go back to, like, a lot of the references I make is I go back to like golf, because like that's something outside of trading that I've, you know, done through a golf coach or like a mentor, you know, someone that actually knows how to get to the stage that I want to get, because it's the same thing. Like you're learning this thing and then you're learning this thing and this thing, but once you learn like the collective, you have to put all of that together, and then it creates that perfect swing for you to get better, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to in trading as well. You have to have the strategy, you have to have the risk management, you have to have the trade plan, you have to have the discipline and consistency, and then put all of that together, and you're going to be a profitable trader. Hopefully. But yeah, what do you reckon? You do $100 live or $100 funded?
I'd do funded. Yeah, I'd do funded. I'd get a 50K
Yeah.
and just that's what I did.
Yeah, you sort of went down that
Yeah.
road as well, eh?
I used it as my live testing, and then 150 turned into 250Ks and 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, fair.
But that's just me personally. Yeah, I'd use it. Jump into a funded, get it going live, and just stay consistent and disciplined.
Okay, after the funded though, getting payouts, what are you doing with that money?
Straight to the live.
Yeah, put that on the live.
Yeah.
Straight to the live, and also keep putting it back, because you got to remember, you got to treat them as these accounts disposable. Like you're going to lose them, and so I'd put some of that money aside for the next challenge, combine, whatever, and just keep that cycle.
Yeah.
Just keep drip feeding back into it.
I think there's a lot of people's problem as well, is that like they don't understand that, you know, a lot of really, really good traders also are losing funded accounts because they are set up to be lost. You know, they're set up for people to fail them, because that's how the prop firms make money.
Yeah.
So like, just to put that into perspective, How many trading accounts have you? How many funded accounts have you lost?
Oh, bro, I've lost heaps.
Whoa.
Oh,
Are we going there?
Took a turn.
I think it's good to like, because I think for beginners or like people who are new to the space, they just think like, man, these guys are just never losing account or they're never blowing accounts. But like, fuck, to get to the point where I am, I had to blow accounts.
Yeah.
Like that's just part of the journey. So, yeah, I've lost quite a few. Like sucks, but that's just the journey. It is what it is.
Yeah. Learn from the lesson. Move on.
Yeah, yeah.
I lost heaps. Well, I used it as my life testing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But then when you start losing a lot, then that's when the real monetary value comes in. It's like, oh, time to switch on.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. So
Just spending the money on like the
yeah, well,
accounts
like
you
you know,
reckon?
you reset your combine and you're like, oh, the first couple you're like, oh, whatever, you know. But then when they start adding up and you're pretty much paying to forward test,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, okay, that's when you start really, and that's with the data collection and stuff, really start reevaluating what's going on. And
So would you recommend just like collecting data immediately?
100%,
Yeah.
100%,
Journal immediately.
yeah. As boring as it is,
Yeah.
and it's the job that you don't want to do at the end of the day. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
So most effective though, eh? Like, if you are collecting this data of like every single trade that you're in, not just winning but also losing, then it gives you a pattern of like where you are losing and gives you a pattern of where you are winning. And so if you can focus on, you know, strengthening where you're winning, and then also obviously strengthening or like changing where you're losing, then it's gonna, you know, directly affect the amount that you're going to be able to win, whether or not you're going to be a profitable trader or not.
Yeah, and I think definitely journaling your emotions going into the trade on the other side of it, you know, whether it's a win or a loss, and then reflecting, you know, has something happened in your day or that week, you know, that's really affecting
Shucks, yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Could be the smallest thing.
Oh,
I doubt you could be hungry and just like, why am I losing?
Yeah.
Like, let's go eat a Snickers or something.
Hangry, bro.
But like, you know, yeah, just anything small outside in your life, how that affects what happens on the charts.
Yeah. So next topic, strategies for managing risk and meeting challenge rules.
It's funny because we're all gonna say, hey, we just had this mean convo about risk management.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's
kind of contradicting, eh?
It is, but like, if you kind of know what you're doing,
Yeah. Yeah. That's facts.
it is a bit contradicting,
Yeah.
But there's different levels to it, eh?
Yeah.
There's different levels.
Yeah.
How I approach a challenge now is not how I approached it at the start, or when I was passing them consistently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's changed completely.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to pass top steps in that, I'd be doing, 1% risk.
1% of the drawdown or 1% of the 50K? Like if it was a 50K account.
Of the 50K.
Yeah, so you're risking like $500.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just for the challenge combine.
Yep.
And then, then I only had to get a 1 to 3 for that day.
Yo.
And then I'd do the 1 to 3 the next day.
Yeah, that's it, cuz.
And then you've passed it in 2 days.
Yo. 5 contracts, 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Hey.
Damn, bro knows the specifics.
And then when it becomes live, I'd drop it down to 0.25.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
So only 250 a trade.
Yeah.
But still just chasing that 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and then just gradually building it up.
Yeah, nice.
But now,
Tell us your risk management plan now.
the 3 hundies.
Wait, because the 300s, max contracts 35.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
What, $7.5 grand drawdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trailing drawdown.
Yeah. Everyone's watching this and they're like, get to it.
Yeah.
What is it? What is your risk management plan? Who's going to say it?
Half March.
Half mode.
No, but honestly, for my Apex accounts, I'll roll through with 15 contracts.
Nice.
And if it's not the perfect setup and it comes a little bit lower, but I know, following my overall analysis and whatnot, that I didn't get the perfect, I'm chucking the rest of those contracts on again.
Another 20? Half March to full March.
Yeah. And then, and then if you're doing your analysis right and you know where the direction is, you're coming out of drawdown a lot quicker than waiting for it to come all the way back up.
Yeah.
That's how I challenge. That's how I approach the challenge.
Nice, good. I like that. It's funny because I went in pretty deep, and I showed Jordan that video of how I passed. I passed that 300k. Yeah. Passed that 300k in one trade. Bro, full march at 35k. 35 contracts. And I've been waiting for this level for ages, bro. Hits the level, and I was like, I'm in now. 35 cons, bro, and the numbers I was seeing, I was like, damn, this is nuts. And
Crazy
I was like,
numbers, eh?
yeah, bro, 35 cons, all I needed was 68 ticks. That's all I needed to get 20k. Tags me in for 35, goes deep into my drawdown, cuz.
How deep?
It hit my stop loss, but it only took out 20 contracts.
Right.
So now I'm only in for 15. Bro, and then it actually, just because my analysis was on, and that's why I full marched it, because I just knew it was going to go a certain direction, and it just pushed another 160-something ticks.
Yeah.
And it was 20k. It was just over 20k.
Yeah.
And so, if you know your technicals and your fundamentals,
Yeah.
you can risk that much.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So that was, seeing those numbers, bro, I was like, far out, man.
But you had to hold that trade twice as long, eh?
Yeah, I was gutted, bro, because it hits the level. If you guys want to see the video, I'll post the video. Yeah. Link in the description. No.
As soon as I heard that this guy passed one in a day, I was like, oh, challenge accepted.
Yeah. Bro passes 3 in a day.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that gave me I was like, oh, that challenge, wanting to challenge yourself. I was like, yo.
Whilst we were doing that challenge too, like the psychology behind going up against the lads, it was it sort of took everything out of play. But when you sort of just stick to analysis and stick to everything that it becomes so much easier.
Yeah.
And after the fact, I think it must have been start of this year, is when I did the 2 300Ks day after each other.
Yeah.
Pass one on one day, and then next day I pass another one. Yeah. And then it was the weekend.
How did you pass those guys? What were you risking?
I was risking 15 contracts.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, I'm just going to say it. A lot of the time with these challenges, we're pretty much going all in. Not doing low risk and everything that we're just saying at the start, but as full-time traders, it comes down to your analysis and your ability to see the setup, right? And so with those challenges that I passed, it was just catching the trade and catching the setup that I see every single day.
True.
That I take on my live account. And so if I'm taking it on my live account, it must be a grade setup. And so what I was doing was, hitting it on my live, and then if my live went into drawdown a little bit, then I'd hit it on the futures.
15 cons.
15 cons. And this was NAS.
Yeah.
And NAS on futures goes way harder than gold and that.
Yeah.
This was during NYSE, and pretty much it was just going into trade, waiting for it to go 10K, pulling it out.
Nice.
Then I'll find another one waiting for it to go 10K. And it happens pretty quickly.
Yeah.
With 15 contracts, especially trading NAS. So that was all it was. And like after that, it sort of just, clicked, for me to just be like, oh, like this is how you're going to do it. You're not going to, go with like low risk.
Yeah.
And like try and trade it over like certain amount of days. Yeah. With live accounts, it's a little bit different because, it's your own money.
Yeah.
And you can, you have the patience to wait for it. With like a funded challenge, it's like, bro, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Just pass it now,
Yeah. Especially when you come to like the end of the month or like your resets come in like, the next couple of days. It's like, oh, full match.
That was actually
Yeah.
Like with the one that I passed on Friday, the reset was coming the next day. So I was like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go, all
I'm going to
in.
pay anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And passed it. And like, but there was the same thing. Like I was just risking more and just waiting for those A grade setups. So, I mean, like it was to my trading plan. My trading plan was, waiting for that setup that I see all the time. After that, I was just legit risking more because I was either going to, lose the account. And like you were saying, like you have to treat them as if they're, sort of disposable. But, obviously not being stupid with them and, going in and gambling. Like we're not gambling the accounts. We're going with A grade setups.
Yeah.
Setups that us as traders see every single day. So, it was just trade plan. Risk management was higher. But obviously with your risk management being higher, you're risking more, but you're also getting rewarded more. And so like with those trades that I was making 10K, I think my stop loss was about 2.5. And so like, still making, 1 to 3.5 sort of trades.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, just risking a little bit more to try and get rewarded a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was gonna touch bases on when we have to make that 20K, say for the 300. Do you treat the last 10K different to the first 10K?
I mean, there was a point there, and we were talking about it, eh? Yeah. There was a point there, bro. Oh, we were messaging about it, eh?
Yeah.
That's right, bro. On that first one, bro, I got to like 19,200 or something like that. Eh?
Oh, true.
And then so I was just like, $800. It's just, I'm just going to go on with like 2 or 3 contracts and just let it go.
Yeah.
And so I went in and it like went down to like $2,000 drawdown just off like 2 or 3 contracts. And I was like, what is this, bro? And like for that whole night, I was just like in and out of like different trades. And like I would get to like 19,800 and go back down to like 16,000. Wait, what did I just say? 19,000, in profit, and then it'll go down to 16,000. And it was back and forward, and I was like, bruh, like, I'm risking way less, but I'm just gambling it. Like I was just entering the market, just waiting for it to go in profit. I wasn't waiting for those setups, and so that was sort of the difference. And that's like where I guess a lot of people, potentially fail is that. Because they have that drawdown and they're entering the market on smaller contracts, but they're not entering at positions where it's like an A grade setup. Whereas those trades that I was risking a little bit more, it was an A grade setup. Whereas if I had just waited, but I was impatient too, because I just wanted to get the extra $800. It's going to make me pass it, But yeah, I forgot about that. Eh?
But yeah, even how I tackle the 20K, I'll full marge that first 10. Yeah. Unless it keeps running, then I'll just hold it, and that's how I've passed it in a day. But I'll get past that first 10, and then I'll almost break the last 10 into 2, if I have to, and I won't.
Gotcha.
I won't over leverage, and then I might make 7K on the next, and now I'm up 17. And I'll finish with a 3K, 3K trade.
Yeah, nice.
That's kind of how I.
Good way to break down.
Kind of like taper off, go full march, because you make the first 10, and then lose it on the next.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So there's still risk management there.
Good breakdown, guys. Yeah, I like that. Interesting. Yeah, interesting like takeaway for your risk management.
Unless the setup's there and it keeps going, then I'm not going to obviously pull out of the trade. I'll take it the whole way. But that's how I kind of treat the last 10K.
Yep.
I use the first 10K as a target.
Yep.
And then if it's going to looks like I have to get out, then I'll get out. But the last 10K, I'll break it down if I have to.
Man.
So I'm not over leveraging, and I want to get that tick,
Yeah.
get that pass.
Nice guy. So, like, you pass the accounts, and we were just talking about, like, you should pass a combine or an evaluation by trading how you normally trade. Do you carry on that similar strategy into your funded accounts now that it's live?
The strategy, like I've just mentioned,
Yeah.
No. Straight back to
Nice.
what we talk, like what we do.
Yeah.
Actual
Yeah.
risk management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like even for the two accounts, like it's just been, my target's just been between 1,000 to 1,500 a day,
Nice.
just over 8 days,
Yeah.
just to get that safety net up.
Yeah.
It's and because of the 30% rules that they have, and just keeps you all within that.
Yeah.
The rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't though, eh? Like you can't trade live accounts or like funded lives the same, because like this is now like once you have your funded past, you now have the opportunity to make money. You now have the opportunity to be trading 300K funded capital to be making actual money and getting paid out actual profits. And that's where, you sort of want to treat it a little bit more like it's your own money, like you're trading a live account.
But it's crazy how the psychology even changes from a challenge live, funded live, then to a live.
Oh yeah, you reckon like your funded lives and your live is a little bit different?
Yeah.
Real?
Yeah, because it's that real money. You know? Like I know with live funded, you're trying to get those profits to unlock the real money, but with your live, every loss is coming out.
Yeah.
So that's for me anyway.
Yeah.
I find it there's like 3 different stages to how I treat them all. I still treat them the same, like risk management and that, but the psychology is just a bit different.
In terms of psychology, like what is it behind the psychology? Are you like waiting for an actual A+ setup for your live account?
For my live,
Yep.
Whereas, you have those little devils on the shoulders and on the funded lives, they're like, oh, just get in. All of a sudden, you're a breakout trader.
But the patience is out the window, eh? When
But it's just that different approach, eh?
Do you find that?
Well, I hardly like the only really live account that I traded was when I first started. So when I was doing that, I was just like, didn't really know what I was doing, just full margin. So,
but then you made like 150% in a day.
yeah,
Full margin.
Yeah, it was a bit different.
But being like with your, account that you,
my funded account.
that you made like a lot of profit on.
Yeah.
Like doing those trades, was it a little bit, what was your sort of risk management and your psychology going into that?
Oh, bro, like when I first got my funded accounts, my risk, like I had to make sure everything I was doing was perfect. Like, waiting for the right setup at the right time. Because like Jordan, I was doing lots of live testing with the combines or evaluations. And then I was transferring that into my lives. Like if I, had been profitable with a certain setup, then I'd be using that setup for my live accounts, my funded live accounts. So just waiting for the right, right setups, and also just like managing my risk properly. So, I was just starting off like little contracts, and then as I built up the balance, then slowly increasing the contracts that I was putting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was going about it like that, and then My setups like dictate the contracts that I'm going to put in. So if it's coming down to a A plus setup, I'm going to get in with a couple more contracts than I normally would, just because I'm way more confident in the setup.
Yeah.
But if I'm just want to get into a trade, then I'm just gonna de-risk and only risk a couple contracts.
Yeah, nice.
So that's how I treat my risk management at the moment. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's good too, because you treat it as if it's going to be bringing you the income.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
Being a funded trader is going to bring you income if you know how to be, making that profit, making those trades work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy, the concept of funded accounts. But as beginner traders, what do you think it's the biggest mistake traders are making going into funded accounts?
Contradicting, over leveraging.
Yeah.
Same shit, eh?
But like I said, it changes. There's levels to it, eh?
Yeah.
So being a beginner, you just can't over leverage.
Yeah.
Just stick to the rules, man.
Yeah.
Read the rules.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they don't want to give you money. They're going to find...
They want to take your money.
They want to take your money, or they're going to try and find a rule that you've broken.
Yeah.
And deny the payout.
Yeah.
Well, they are a business.
Yeah.
They're a business. They're not in business to lose money. They're in business to make money. So if they can keep your money, they're going to.
Yeah.
The way that they make money is mostly by people losing. I don't even know, but you know how you get 90 or 80% of your profit, and then they get the rest. Is it even real funding though?
Right.
If the 10 or 20% that they're making, is it actually money that they're making, or is it purely just from people losing their funded accounts? That's I have no idea.
Yeah. That's interesting. Eh?
Yeah. Because concept of it, they should be profitable.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But then giving people that funding, or how many people lose, because I think the statistics are 99% of people lose funded accounts.
That's crazy, man.
And when you're thinking about that statistic, and then you're the prop firm giving people $1 million to and 99% of them are going to lose, you won't actually make money that way.
Yeah.
But then the 10% that they keep or whatever, and then the 10% that they have to, or the 90 or 80% that they have to pay you out. Yeah, it's wild. I just don't understand. Don't understand it, bro. How they end up. That's probably why a lot of prop firms end up going under.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
TopStep's brought out a rule where I think it was if you've just opened an account within the last couple of months, you can only get a max payout of 5K per payout. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. And I think in a way it's a good thing because it keeps them afloat. We're still giving people opportunity to get access to funding. But then, the cons of that is that, you could be up heaps and only pull out 5K.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But why did they bring the rule in, eh?
That's to stay afloat, bro,
Yeah, because they might, the reason that they will bring a rule in like that is because they're probably not making enough money, or they're paying
out
traders like yourself
Yeah.
out too much, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's still a good opportunity.
Oh,
Still
for
a great
sure,
opportunity for people to be, getting that funded capital. But as someone that sort of started on a live account, I always just go back to a live account.
Yeah. I find that so interesting, eh? How because your outlook to prop firm trading, I remember I asked you this at the start when I first started, and you were saying that it's not real trading.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't, you're so constrained to all these different rules. Whereas in a live account, a 10K live account, you have 10K drawdown. You're not restricted to news trading. You're not restricted to, like daily loss limit or any of those kinds of things. Which is why I can see why, you implemented those rules into your own live account. That makes sense, because that's like a great way to manage your risk. But yeah, and so I find it interesting that, you don't think it's like a real trading, because it makes sense, but for beginners that are coming in and they don't have access to that amount of money, or I think it's a great avenue to explore. But just read the rules, man. That's all you have to do, is just read every single rule, and not just read the rules, but understand the rules. Yeah.
If you don't understand the rules, just ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, actually though. Right, yeah.
Because it explains it for you. Like, obviously the rules, they're rule 9.2 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'll have all of these, lawyer words, I guess. Whereas ChatGPT can break that whole thing down for you and just tell you what you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
You could actually put all of the rules, I think, in ChatGPT and just ask it, how can I not fail? And it just spits out, everything that you should be doing. Obviously, and it's just normal stuff. Realistically, it's just normal stuff.
Yeah.
Managing your risk,
Yeah.
not over leveraging, obviously sticking to the rules that each different prop firm has, because everyone has different rules. Every single prop firm is different, and they have different rules. These rules are in places that they can make money, and so that you can lose. But yeah, as traders come in, and I think the biggest reason most of them fail is purely just lack of knowledge.
Yeah, 100%.
Not only in their own trading, but also in understanding the rules of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So big question then. Would you recommend for beginner traders to be getting into props, or at what level of your knowledge should they be getting into prop firms?
I think it comes down to me and Jordan been banging on about this for everybody. The last two bodies, it just comes down to your data collection and your journaling. If you get your stats up, you understand your win rate, your RR, all that kind of stuff. You know where your setups are, you know the timing of the market and where you're winning the most. Use that to your advantage, and once you build up that data and you feel confident in the market, that's when you start to look at prop firms.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you understand the strategy, that's probably not enough. You need to build the data on your strategy before you open up a combine or evaluation.
Yeah. Sure. Same.
Yeah, data collection, bro.
Yeah.
That's all it is, eh?
At the same time, though, great way to build your data is open up a combine.
What's that?
Yeah. If you want to build up your data on your emotions and psychology, a great way to do that is through a combine. So if you're in a position where you can afford to, blow a couple hundred on combines and just reset them, every time you lose, it's a great way to build data on your emotions, your psychology, as well as all the other stuff that we mentioned before in terms of risk management, entries, timing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it gives you that time in the market, eh?
Yeah.
Experience in the market.
Yeah.
Watching the dollar signs move.
That's exactly it, bro. Yeah.
Watching it go green, watching it go red.
Yeah.
It's all psychology, eh? They're building it up.
Yeah.
Different emotions you feel.
Yeah, I think so. And I think for beginner traders, you just have to build, everything that we've been talking about. One, these are the steps. These are the steps that you need, if you're getting into trading. One, you need to learn a strategy. Learn a strategy that is going to be effective for you. Practice that strategy, data collection, right? To get to the point where your data collection has, now giving you statistics on this trade. If you're entering off this setup, you're winning this amount of times, you're losing this amount of times. Win rate. What percentage is that? If it's over, 50%, 60%, should be winning. And then you can go into looking at getting funding. Not trying to get into it, learning a month or two and taking trades on a demo account or something. And then, all of a sudden, I can go in And I think that's where a lot of people lose as well, or like forfeit a lot of money to the market because they try and go into it too early, purely just to make money.
Yeah.
And this can make you a lot of money. Like we've said it so often, this can make you a lot of money, but it's only going to make you a lot of money if you have the knowledge and if you have the skill to be trading, and that's all you really need.
Yeah. Also, like, expect to lose your first combine or evaluation. Like, if you don't win it, like, if you don't pass, then that's like, bro, that's just the journey. That's what it is, you know. If you lose the next one, that's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just so on and so forth.
Yeah. But, like, if you're losing and you're not learning, then that's where you're probably going wrong, because you should be learning from, you know, all those losses.
Yeah. Why you lost.
Yeah.
And that's just a fail faster thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fail faster, learn from your mistakes. And there's only so many lessons in trading or in anything realistically that you need to learn. But if you're just learning those lessons over and over again, yeah, that's where it takes a toll on the psychology.
Yeah, we should get a mentor.
Yeah.
We can buy it.
We can buy it. Well, yeah, Tim, you heard it here first. How to go about getting into funding accounts. 2 7-figure traders right here, funded traders that have, you know, shared their thoughts and how they pass their accounts and how they go about trading their live fundeds. Both of them come through the education platform and, you know, making a lot of money now. So yeah, hope this helps. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on next one.
Trading highs, oh what a ride. From doubt and fear to joy inside. With every lesson learned I grew. Ambitious investing pulled me through. One night I made 28%. Now it feels like heaven sent.